Hello there, listeners. Last time we defeated the giant flies and I climbed to the top of the watchtower, where I discovered an additional smaller island connected to the main via a bridge and a ruined boathouse with a few piers. Once I climbed back down, we managed to venture north to a dining room where we were set upon by a ghostly kobold hunt. I was a little bit frightened, truth be told, but Physic was right scared. Tulok, and his will of steel, managed to warn the spirits of a far worse outcome if they decided to persist, which ended up frightening them off. From there we went back into the main hall where I found a secret door that once held a teleportation circle, though the silver it needed was scraped away long ago. Then off the main room we found another smaller room where we found a little bit of treasure and then an office behind. In that office, Tulok managed to find a secret door hidden behind a mouldy tapestry, which led us to a cold and damp chapel-like room. It was a long room ending in a large stained glass window depicting the dead rising from their graves towards a four-pointed orange star. I started making my way towards the dais, only to be confronted by two elven corpses waiting in the wings.
I've got a question for one of you. For Scott.
Go on.
Would you, in this moment, right here, right now, like a shot of vodka?
Oof. I mean,
I don't think yes oof or a no oof?
I don't think I ever want a shot of vodka, but I mean, it might make me feel better.
In case anyone listening does not know.
Everybody listening doesn't know.
Canada has its own Thanksgiving, and we are recording on the holiday Monday here, and Scott's feeling a little under the weather. He seems to have punished himself for no reason, for some sort of arbitrary holiday reason.
Hey man, just getting together with friends and family. What more do you want?
See. No one believes you have friends or family, though. That's the problem. It's all just a facade.
You're just projecting on me, Freeman.
Jesus Christ! You're not. You're not wrong. I don't really have any friends and family. That's ridiculous. Who needs them when you got a nice glass of cider in front of you?
God, oh man, I feel like I would feel better, but at this point, I've gone far enough.
But in all seriousness, I was originally just going to ask what if you were going to do a shot, what would you do? But you're hungover today, so I thought I'd target you.
Yeah, well, if you want an actual answer to that,
yes,
I probably would have a pickleback right now with Jameson's.
Oh, Jameson pickleback. That's a good choice, especially a good hangover choice.
Yeah, a little vinegar in there, get things going,
get the juices flowing. Oh,
yep.
Yeah, love me some pickle.
If it was not a shot but a drink, I'd love a Caesar right now.
Oh, yeah. Again, for those listening who don't know what a Caesar is, it's basically a Bloody Mary, but with Clamato juice instead of tomato juice.
And way better, celery salt on the rim. Or do they do that on Bloody Marys too? I don't know.
They sometimes do it on Bloody Marys, and it is not way better.
Oh, no.
I'm not fussed about either, to be honest. But one thing is for sure is they should have gin in them. You should have a gin Caesar or a gin Bloody Mary, not vodka. Gin's so much better in those.
Yeah, gin Bloody Mary dark. Just a boss.
I need that salty clam juice. Really ties the whole thing together. and sounds as appetizing as
Yeah, you need that brine, dude.
Yeah.
No, dude, that's why you go dark. It's just more Worcestershire, so it's like extra anchovies opposed to
And then
clam.
it just tastes like a meatloaf.
So other than a shot of Worcestershire, what would you shoot, James?
It's mid-afternoon here. It's like 3 p.m. So I would have to go with probably a polar
I'm not asking
bear.
what you want now. Just like what would you do as a shot in general if you had to do one?
Oh,
or it could be now.
prairie fire.
You clearly asked now. Let's go. We're going now.
Yeah, if it's now, it's a polar bear. If it's in general, it's a prairie fire.
What, you like a prairie fire?
I don't like a prairie fire, but if I have to be forced to ingest alcohol that quickly for the said purpose of getting drunk, which is what a shot is for, I want to impress people. So might as well have a prairie fire.
You wouldn't be. I wouldn't be impressed. I'd be judging the hell out of you the whole way. Prairie fire is Tabasco and whiskey. Is it right? Is that right? Or
No, it's Tabasco and tequila.
It's so much
Tabasco
worse.
tequila. Oh, even worse.
It's really not. If you get like a good
Filthy.
tequila, it
If you
flows.
get enough
it's not
Tabasco.
good, but it's not that like. Yeah, it's not the worst. So the thing is, the Tabasco has to dance in the tequila. That's why they call it a prairie fire, is because the Tabasco's like dancing inside the clear tequila liquid. Or if you're feeling really brave, you could have a screaming wolf, which is a prairie fire with a rim of black pepper.
Oh, I've never had that before. I've definitely had a couple prairie fires.
The last time I had a prairie fire was for my birthday or something. I was at work and someone made me do the muff dive shot. They put the shot glass in like a martini glass and then you cover it in whipped cream. So you gotta like dive in and just get like whipped cream all over your face and then no hands, take the shot back, and they hit a prairie fire in it. It was like the most awful experience of my life.
When I worked at the keg, people would often order those, and my whole trick was I would bring a first muff diver, but it had no shot in it, and I'd secretly bring up the second one. So I'd put it down, and then they just go face into it and like looking for it and could never find it, and would have to really get in there because they're like, well, it must be in here somewhere. And then I'd pull out the second one that actually had the shot in it and just be like, haha. Good serving trick.
You're an asshole.
Yeah, dude. Saying. I mean, they're already gonna look like idiots. You might as well make them look a little worse.
You're not wrong. Because I mean, what asshole orders a muff dive?
Free bowl of whipped cream. How can you complain about that?
Yeah, exactly.
Duncan, what would you shoot?
Ooh, I guess again depending on the time of day, but usually just like a good little shot of bourbon, like some wild turkey. I'll take that pretty much all the time.
What a waste of wild turkey to shoot it.
I mean, you could say that about shooting.
I don't think there's any such thing as wasting wild turkey.
I turn down a lot of shots now because, and Scott's perfect evidence of this, I'm getting a bit too old to be hungover. I don't.
Hey, what are you
really
trying
get
to
drunk
say?
Anymore. I'm trying to say you look like shit.
Well, I certainly
and
feel
you're too
like
old
it.
for this.
Yeah, and you're too old for this shit, Danny Glover. Like, step back a notch. What's wrong with you? You're gonna die, Scott, and we need you because we hate Instagram, so we need you.
But speaking of an intervention, let's segue into our first segment here.
So we've all brought you here for a good reason.
Oh, have we?
Because
though?
we love and care for you.
He may look like a walking corpse, but we're about to fight a couple here.
Yeah. Now that's a segue.
Takes me a minute, but I get there.
Well, you guys into this room. Some all boldly stepped up to the top of this this hallway here.
And I just need to say for the record that Scott is one of my best friends, and I adore him. This is all. I mean, at least from where I'm sitting, it's fun and games. I don't know about his relationship to the barn.
We're having fun. We're having fun.
Let me just specify that James's personal opinions does not reflect Uncharted North or any of the products hereof.
We should just loop that. We're gonna need that again.
Because we all know Scott is, he's Scott. So enough said.
Yeah, and we all know that we're kidding here because you'd be throwing some pretty big stones in a pretty small glass house there, Freeman.
You're not wrong. Hey, I can take as much as I give. So if you're feeling witty at any point, bring it on.
Oh,
I
that's
wish
a
you
stretch.
the best of luck. Yeah,
Yeah.
today. Yeah.
Maybe next week.
Yeah. Today and today only. Are you allowed to make fun of me? So
I do
go
need
for
to
it.
put in a potential t-shirt idea that we just glossed over, which was personal relationship with the barn. Just want to put a pin in that merch
I'll
idea
take 10.
right now.
I'll take 10, and I will send most of them to our friend Case. And he will hate them. He'll burn them in fire.
9 of the same shirt.
He's the one who gave me the nickname Barn. But we'll get to that later. So, here we are. Top of the order. Combat has started. We rolled initiative. Physic. Can you save the day?
Oh my god, no. Like...
Oh.
Can you even see the corpses?
I don't think I have a direct line of sight here.
You can see, you can kind of see one there, but yeah, it's definitely got cover. The one to the northeast has cover from you for sure, and the other one you can't see at all.
Okay, like would I catch a reaction from Samal coming up and kind of doing some like vaudevillian stagger backwards from seeing zombies?
Oh, I would imagine so. Plus, you would have seen some movement, as
You
they
just
as
see
they,
his
like,
shoulders
return.
slump and his fist tighten.
Just the universal sign of a Danny Glover who's too old for something.
He goes into full Charlie Brown mode, just like head down.
Okay.
I kind of picture Samal when he's ready for combat, just like holding his shield in one hand and just kind of hitting it with his axe or something, like the side of his axe, just like, testing its sturdiness and getting ready to boogie.
It is broken so many times, I think he's afraid of how sturdy it is.
Yeah, yeah. Please hold up this time around.
I love that imagery, though, Scott. That's fantastic.
Physic will catch a glimpse of this here dead thing around the corner. Again, getting kind of like sick of it himself, he's just gonna stride up behind Samal where he's in range of throwing an alchemist fire at it. That's a nat 20 for a 26 to hit.
Oh, hell yeah.
I'm in hot.
Even with some cover there, that's definitely going to hit.
15 initial damage.
Okay.
Nice.
15 initial damage. It also takes 1 splash damage.
Yep.
I know that. We covered that trait. And it's going to take some persistent fire damage. Also doubled up on that one.
Ooh, buddy, so that'll be 2 persistent
geez.
fire.
What a time to crit. Thank you.
Well, that's a good start to this combat. Anything else from you?
Yep, I'm just gonna draw a dart in ready for next action, or next turn.
Okay. Pulls out another weapon. Tulak, now you can go.
Nice. All right. So Tulak is standing right next to this corpse, and something catches his eye. So he looks down and sees an unusual rapier, and would like to inspect it.
Okay. And you quickly discern that it's very similar to that Morningstar you found. It's got very much the same weapon potency runes on it, and it is a +1 rapier.
Oh, okay. He will just leave it there then. I think he was hoping that it would have, potentially ghost touch or something like that. But no worries, because we're just facing some corpses. He is going to delay his turn in the same spot.
Okay. He's delaying. He eyes the rapier and then waits.
Sorry, I don't mean to interject, but you can't delay if you've already taken an action.
Oh, really?
I gave him the identify thing for free because it's so similar to the Morningstar.
Oh, okay, so we didn't roll a
Freebie.
check on it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't make him roll a check. So next up is the corpse that's on fire.
Sorry, I just want to clarify. Delay, you wait for the right moment to act. The rest of your turn.
No, that's readying.
No, I'm reading delay.
Yes, the trigger as your turn begins.
Okay.
Okay, so the corpse that's on fire is going to step over or move over towards Samal, taking a stride action. And it swings at you for a sweet 26 to hit.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, fuck.
And does pretty all right with his 8 piercing damage. I say pretty all right.
Okay.
That's actually fairly low. And then
That's not good.
It's going to try, after biting you, it's going to try and strike with a claw for a 19.
Okay, it took its persistent fire damage.
Actually, I misspoke earlier. It's at the end of its turn. So yeah, 19 hit with the claw.
Yep. 19 hits.
And another 8 damage.
Oh, Small's going down again, boys.
What's a big hit? Okay. and that corpse takes its 2 fire damage and fails its check, so it's going to continue to stay on fire. And the next corpse goes.
Tulok actually will hop in here.
Okay.
Oh, thank God.
Better save the day. Holy shit.
Yeah, hoping that he wasn't too late, thinking he probably should have acted quicker. But he is going to look down at the corpse to his left again, and he sees a dagger on the ground, and he reaches out towards it, and using telekinetic projectile, he flings it directly at the corpse that's on fire.
Okay.
And that is going to be a 21 to hit.
That hits.
Weak damage is a 1 on the die for 5 piercing.
Okay, not great, but hey, this thing has taken some damage already. It's doing all right.
And now I done.
And now you're done. Corpse number 2. I'm afraid it's gonna move on up to Samal. I mean,
Yep.
what else would it do?
Be ready with that healing potion here, boys. Small's going down.
Yeah, might very well happen here. It's gonna repeat the same tactic here with the Jaws attack. Holy jeez.
Oh no.
What's your AC?
17.
Crit. Natural 19.
No!
29 total.
Oh my god.
That is 16 damage.
Can I use a hero point to make you re-roll that?
You cannot.
Damn it.
Hero points are only for re-rolling your own rolls and not for granting disadvantage. Samuel definitely goes down, but he goes down via a crit, which means he automatically goes down to dying 2.
Yeah. Okay. That's not good.
It is not good at all. The corpse will then start meandering towards Physic.
Fuck.
Samal, it's your turn.
Okay. If I fail this, guys, I die. Good luck.
What?
It's dying 4. It's dying 4 that you die on,
Yeah, you got time.
not 3.
Okay.
Yeah.
Unless I crit fail, in which case...
Unless you're Pal. That's true.
Don't even put that out there for the universe.
Well, it's Foundry. Foundry hates me. That's pretty cool. All right, I'm rolling in the chat. That is a crit fail. Small dies permanently.
No! Oh,
What?
my fuck.
Oh man.
Jesus Christ. Oh.
That is. Oh no.
What?
Oh.
Oh my
That's
god.
some bad news, Bears.
Yep.
Oh no.
That is
How did that happen so fast? Fuck
big
me.
critical hit. Big critical fail. Natural 1.
Dude.
Oh,
I cannot
holy-
believe that. 1 on the die.
I told you, Foundry hates me. Freeman has crit against me every game we've played, and I've rolled more than my fair share of critical fails. So.
I was gonna tell you to roll it on the table on a real dice, and I fucking should have.
Oh. Yeah, I was about to say, like, in case anyone's blaming me for him using Foundry, I've said from the beginning, you want to roll dice, it's all you. You're more than welcome to.
Oh, good job fucking covering your ass there, Bar.
Hey, I've always said it. I've always said it. Oh man.
It's fine. I'm choked.
Yeah. Yep.
And I guess I'm gonna take the next couple of sessions off.
We're gonna 2-man it?
That's
Oh,
not a
geez.
joke, man.
Well, we go to the top of the order.
Jesus. So what do we see? Like, run us through what's going on right now.
I mean, this thing just like lunges at him with it sort of moves up, gets in, and just sinks its teeth into Samal as he just got finished trying to defend himself from the other one. This one comes from the other side, basically just gets a hold of him and sinks its teeth into his like neck, and he crumbles to the ground, and then it just, without paying attention, just starts heading towards Physic, and you just see blood just pouring out of him, just in droves.
Before your turn starts, Physic, and to the listeners, no joke, I'm gonna take the rest of this episode off. I'm gonna log off because I'm really upset right now. and I need to figure out how to get my next character ready for the next episode. So I will.
James will be off mic.
I need to go calm down
for a bit.
Yeah, so I'll be back in the next episode.
Jeez,
we'll work it out,
buddy. Okay.
What are you up to, Physic? What can you do?
He is going to be absolutely devastated and horrified, but the flight or fight response will have to kick in, and he's just gonna fucking book it. Like, run back the way they came. I can't imagine he'd have the wherewithal to check if he was gonna get an attack of opportunity by just running away.
You peel, but it does not. It's a kind of a rambling little corpse.
Okay, so it's just gonna be, and well, basically Tulak's right behind him, and he will just turn around with the fear in his face of, we gotta get the fuck out of here, and start running, and it will be a full 3 strides away, so 75 feet total.
What path are you taking? You run back through the...
Yeah, I'll run back through the secret doors instead of trying to climb over any rubble. And he will be, well, he'll yell at Tulak as he's coming, like, let's go!
Alright, and that's your turn. Corpse on Fire is going to start rambling towards Tulak, but it doesn't move very far. And as Physic, runs out through that secret door, and Tulak's probably getting ready to join him, I'm not sure, but this thing steps down a couple steps, and the blue light in its eyes and mouth begin to increase in intensity. And just in range, lets out what's known as its death light.
Jesus.
A 20-foot cone forward, and I need you to roll me a fortitude save, please.
9 on the die for a 13.
13 is a failure. You take 3 negative damage. It's a very low roll on my end. And you are frightened 1. Oh, you know what? Hold on. Never mind. Don't take that damage. I screwed up. Deathlight's a 3-action move. It moved once. It can't do that. Instead, it will continue rambling towards you, essentially. Yeah, it's going to ramble all the way up to you and strike out with its claw for a 25 to hit.
That's a hit.
And you're going to take 9 slashing damage.
Okay.
And it's going to attack one more time with the claw. With a 17 to hit.
Fuck me to beat.
Oh, even with the shield on, eh?
Yep.
Another 9.
I'm unconscious and dying.
Oh my god.
Oh man. Oh man. It takes 1 fire damage, fails its save. So it's still on fire. Tulak, you are unconscious and dying.
Well, I'm going to use all my hero points for a hero recovery.
Oh, okay. So you're not unconscious and dying. You are just simply unconscious and stable.
Yep. Holy fuck.
Okay.
Wish I didn't find this room.
And but you're unconscious. You can't really do anything there. So it comes to the next corpse, who sort of just hangs about for a sec, and it's going to go back to Physic at the top of the round.
Well, this is tough. I can't make it back to heal him this turn, because it would be 1 action to pull out a health, an elixir of health, and 1 action to administer it. Plus, they'd get another turn.
I mean, what do you do, Physic? Do you just keep running? You don't know if Tulak's behind you yet.
Well, he would have gotten into this room and looked back and not seen Tulak coming behind him. He's quite convinced that he saw Samal go down, but he's not willing to just give up on Tulak. So if he takes the 55 feet back, he'd be 5 fucking feet short of being able to administer a potion.
Oh my god. This is bad. This is bad.
It's real bad.
This is bad.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think as a character, Physic would get as far as he can to that door, which would be 10 feet away from Tulok.
I mean, not trying to play your character at all, but I mean, I could see Physic, like, running back, not hearing him being followed, running back, and then just kind of avoiding notice in that room, biding his time, you know, until he can, like, essentially, in mechanics, waiting for his next turn to come, but in game sense, he's just, like, eyeing up the corpses, seeing what they're going to do before he does it, right?
Yeah, okay. I think that does actually work, thank you. Yeah, so Physic would come into the room, into the secret room that Sage had just gone down outside of, and try to get a glimpse of what's going on while avoiding notice. Or, I don't know if it would be an avoid notice, like walking up, or a take cover around this corner. Would I be able to, like, take cover and take a glimpse around?
Yeah, I don't see why not. Take cover, take a glimpse around, and the corpse seems to just be, like, sort of hovering over Tulok's body, still a little bit on fire and not really reacting to much of anything.
Okay, well, I'll end my turn there.
It continues to do that. Takes another fire damage, but the fire then pitters out. Tulok still lays there. The other corpse still just lingering on the stairs. In fact, it lingers for a moment and another moment, and then it starts to, like, just walk back up and turn the corner again from where it came. And it brings us back to you again, Physic.
Okay. He's gonna stride towards Tulok and draw an elixir of life from his bandolier and administer it.
Okay.
Oh my god. For 1 HP.
Oh, man. Bad news bears. All right. Tulok, you're here for 1 HP. You are no longer unconscious, which is an upside, I guess, but you are still prone.
Except it's that corpse's turn next.
And, yes, it does come around to that corpse, who's now kind of going towards Physic, and it also will try to claw you. 13 to hit.
That will not.
Whew. 8 to hit.
That will not.
Oh.
And 11 to hit.
Oh my god.
Oh, yeah.
Goes for 3 claws.
Holy shit.
Oh.
But then you can see the light in its eyes and mouth starting to, like, power up now and start to glow a bit brighter. Tulok.
So, Tulok on the ground is fucking bleeding like crazy from this wound he's taken. And he kind of pops back in when he's administered the potion. He's laying down there, and he just pops to his feet, looking horrified, and kind of clasping at his throat where his blood's coming out between his fingers, and he just bolts. Physic, let's go! And he's just going to run out of the room.
Okay. Stands up and peels.
Yep. And yeah, so 1 action to stand, and then 2 actions, 2 strides.
Hearing the scuffle again, the northern corpse wanders back out and starts making his way towards Physic as well, and has to sort of circumvent his friend and moves around and attempts to bite him using 2 strides and a bite for a 20 to hit.
It does hit.
And you're going to take 13 damage.
Holy shit.
Nearly max damage. And that's the end of its turn.
Nearly my max damage as well, or my max HP.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, man.
I think he gets the message, and it's Physic's turn to just a fucking peel. 75 feet it will be.
Back to the original strategy.
Okay, and he can make it out to just past the next room, if I'm not mistaken.
All right, so you peel and make it even further. You're out back in the L-shaped hallway, just peeling past Tulok. We're going to end initiative here as you guys just hightail it. What's your plan?
Has anything discernibly changed in this room? Like, I know we're kind of panicked and everything, but it doesn't look like it's basically unchanged.
Yeah, it's the same. Same as you left it.
Okay. I think a quick round of elixirs of health would do us each well. Or elixir of life, sorry.
Yeah, like, I think that they're out of there, but Tulok would turn to Physic. Physic, I don't want to leave Samal, but we can't stay here. We need to keep moving. They could come after us.
And yeah, Physic, panic in his eyes, will just be like, I don't think we can go back for him. And he will pull two elixirs of life out of his bandolier and give one to Tulok and down one himself. Physics will heal for max damage at 6.
Okay, very good.
And Tulok's will heal for 4 HP.
Physic, I think Samal's dead. I mean, I know he's gone down and taken hard hits before, but I think he's dead.
I think so too. I don't know what to do right now. We can't go back for them. They're too strong for us.
I wish there was some way to recover his body. We should take him back to Rin. Or to the Dawnflower. I don't know what to do. What were those things? I've never seen anything like that before. They looked like reanimated corpses. They were terrible.
They were terrible.
And yeah, I think that Sage Tulok is visibly distressed, like shaking, and his eyes are kind of welling up, and he is really panicked. I think seeing, first of all, those like horrifying creatures, and then seeing Samal just go down. Like, he went down hard and died immediately.
Yup.
Yeah, that was rough.
Not even a fourth player could have prevented that.
Nothing. There was literally nothing that could have been done there. It was crazy.
That was unbelievable.
Yeah, I'd say Physic is just as traumatized at the moment. I don't think either, like, these two were the least kind of seasoned adventurers going into this one. And the realities of it just came crashing down pretty freaking hard.
Yeah, cue the death music. Fuck, and it's just like, Samal needed that second level so bad for his character to be way infinitely stronger, and level 1 death. First character death.
Oh man, I can't.
Sheesh. Freeman,
even...
I hope you feel like shit.
I do. I feel like shit. Because I love Samal. And
you son of a bitch.
I said before I could wait to kill him so we could see Azori, but like I didn't want to die this soon. Like I wanted to see a little more from him, but man, the dice just landed that way. That was it. There was
that natty one.
Oh, that was
that
was just a stab in the heart.
Man.
Like both literally and figuratively in a way.
All right. So I think that with that, Tulok doesn't want to move on right now. I think he wants to go back to town because they've only been back here for, it's the morning.
I mean, you got here nice and early and spent some time in watches, but you've only been only really diving into the ruin for about an hour or so.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Or hour and a half, or let's say
they started out at daybreak, so it's like
it's 9:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man.
I guess, yeah, there's not much else to do but go back. There's no way we're going to survive. That's the way into the lighthouse, which is where we got to go. Or it's a way into the lighthouse.
No, it's
yeah,
beyond
the way in the lighthouse is up here. Fuck, man, I can't believe that just happened.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
And like, we are so spongy right now. The two of us. Oh man, the dice, the rolls.
Yeah, really putting the die and dice over here.
Jeez. Dude, that was like unceremonious too. Like he just fucking died.
Gone.
Big
like,
time.
So quick. And that was like the last time, and hopefully some bonus content we released down the line. The last character I killed was so many more moving parts involved that I was like, I did everything I could to try and prove the death wrong, but I had to go through so many mechanics, but it was legit. And this one was much simpler, making it even less ceremonious because it just was.
There's nothing.
2 big hits and a a critical failure on a death saving throw. Like,
put him down with a crit, and then have a critical fail on your saving throw. Just instant death.
You're done.
Death. I honestly, I knew there was a high risk, but I didn't really think anyone was going to die at level 1. And yeah, and I've made sure to make sure these encounters were at a certain difficulty for only 3 people. You know, some of them being severe still because they are kind of meant to be, and this is one of them. And damn, did it happen fast? Yeah. So I am both sympathetic and empathetic for James being off mic right now. I totally get it. I am terrified to hear how he's feeling when we get him back on.
Yeah.
Oh man. But here we are. It's like I'm flabbergasted. We're all flabbergasted, I think.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a shock because like that. Yeah, man, that happened fucking quick, and like I did not see that coming.
Yeah.
Not even a chance to run.
Yeah.
Not even a chance to run before his first turn in the first round. Down and then dead.
Done and dusted. Well,
we will not have the chance to see his next character if we don't press on.
Yep.
I know he's got an idea in mind, so we'll give him some time. But you guys are going to head back to town.
Yep.
I assume you take the same route out the eastern breakage in the wall, and as shaken as you are, I'm sure it's like hits with another broad stroke when you hit that crossing of the stream, in which each time you've crossed, he's jumped and then held a hand out to bring you across. And your boots get a little extra muddy, or at least maybe you think they do.
I think Tulok pictures that in his mind, but he's scrambling, running, horrified, and just full bore, just sprinting to try to get out of there.
Yeah, right.
I don't even think they're sneaking.
Yeah, you hit clinkety clank clank clinkety clank clank from all the found treasure on Physic's body.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
and the whole way down, you just peel, you run. It takes you like all of 10 minutes to go down the Gaunt Trail and back and towards Otari's edge. And as you're running and making all of this noise, you've had to pass by a few times, but you never stopped in. But as you exit the forest proper along the Gaunt Trail, you pass by the Stone Ring Pond, and you turn a couple heads of some of the druids that hang out there. They notice the clatter, they notice the franticness, and they sort of look over curiously. But where do you guys want to go? What do you want to do?
Straight to Ren.
Straight to Ren.
And all right, you guys head to Ren's.
Yeah, and while they're running, they're stumbling and sweat just pouring down his face, mixing in with all the blood coming from his neck wound, and just kind of losing his footing and standing back up, and just does not look back once.
You peel through the streets. You make it to Rin's Wonders, and there's your feet are clattering all over the cobblestone roads. And just as you arrive, Rin steps out from beyond one of her canvas curtains with a slight look of confusion on her face at the noise coming towards her shop. Physic? Tulok?
Physic doesn't even have words in him. He's basically just looking at Rin with a blood running down his face and an eyes of nothing but desperation, just panting because he had run the entire way there.
Yeah, same with Tulok. He kind of just almost collapses and takes a knee, and he's just holding his neck with all the blood running out, and he's just through deep breaths. He looks up at Rin and just says, "He's gone. Samal's gone. We couldn't even bring his body out. He remains in the chapel of the tower, and there was nothing we could do. I don't know. I don't know what happened." And he just looks down, can't meet her eyes.
And she steps forward and just says, "Hush, hush, come." And puts a hand on each of you and heals you both for 8 with a heal spell. He's come inside. Tell me what happened. And she guides you inside. The pot of tea ready to go, like usual.
Yeah, Tulok follows her in and just collapses onto a chair with his head in his hands and takes a few moments and then looks back up at her. We investigated the light at night. We saw it. We saw it in the tower. And then in the morning we continued. We were on our way. We were moving through the rooms. We found a haunt. We managed to dispel it. We were doing so well. And then we found a secret passage into a chapel, and there was these 2 horrifying creatures. They looked like they were corpses, but they were walking, and they were glowing from the mouth, and I'd never seen anything like it. And they took Samal so quickly. They attacked him. There was so much blood, Rin. And we couldn't save him. We couldn't do anything. We were helpless.
Physic just pawing at the remaining elixirs on his bandolier. He will just look up at her like, there was nothing we could do, Rin. He was only a few feet away. But there was nothing we could do.
I thought that my fears were dissuaded last night. But they should not have been. This is too dangerous. What sort of dark magic sits in there? That the dead walk. Oh, Samal. What will your Azori say? What will she think of me? She turns towards the teapot and sort of absent-mindedly just starts pouring the tea. Sits down and doesn't even touch her own mug. Silence. Heavy, tangible silence sits in the room. And after who knows how long, what definitely feels like ages, she says, "You should go to Vandy for more healing. Have her bind your wounds. Please do this and rest. Come to me again this evening."
Tulok, with his head in his hands, nods grimly without even looking up, stands, and just silently moves out of the tent.
Physic follows. He takes a brief glance at Rin, and then straight down to the floor again, and follows Tulok. I mean, he probably doesn't even need healing right now, but he's just gonna follow Tulok around.
I think that Tulok kind of waits for him, and then just puts a hand on Physic's shoulder, far below him, and they just kind of walk in silence. And I don't think that Tulok is gonna go to the Dawnflower. I think that he just leads Physic with him back to his caravan, because for all intents and purposes, he's only down 2 hit points at this time, so he's not really too worried about it. I think that he just heads back to the caravan, and once they're inside, if Physic does follow, he's just gonna turn to Physic, and they slump down, and he says, "There was nothing we could do, was there? I just wish there was something we could have done, but we aren't that powerful."
There was nothing we could have done. We didn't know what we were getting into. I know Rin sent us here with the best of intentions, and I don't doubt that we could have done this. if the stars are aligned. But I'm not gonna give up yet. But we need to take time and figure out what this means, where we go from here, because I want to complete this for Rin, but this has been a lot.
You're right, Physic. We can't give up. I mean, now more than ever, it would be a waste of Samal's life. I can't believe it. If we didn't go back, we need to find what evil lurks in this keep. How could it be so bad, so close to town? We've lived here for years, and yet this dark magic exists there. I have the dark magic inside of me as well. I hope I'm not corrupted by this. I couldn't imagine myself killing so unjustly. And he just kind of slumps his head in his hands.
Let me ask you both a question. What do you suspect, and what do your characters suspect, has caused this to be there, sort of sitting in silence? Like, what is your guts telling you?
Well, I actually had thought that undead was going to be a thing. I thought that it was even going to be happening earlier, which is why when we went there in that, literally that morning, when we went at night and into the morning, I thought maybe there's going to be undead kind of shambling around outside at night, or there was some sort of trigger like that. And so I was expecting to see some undead, but I mean, yeah, I think that Sage Tulok believes that whatever is creating this magic in the tower is making these creatures become reanimated.
And what do you think is, take the question further, what do you think is causing that magic? Do you have any clue at all?
I think it would be some sort of necromancer. Just kind of, that's...
Mm-hmm. What about you, Duncan? / Physique?
Physic is not sure exactly what's going on, but he sees it as a portent for doom at the very best. He's got a lot of trust in Rin, and thinks that she might, like very much believes in her fortune telling kind of prowess, but he's really struggling to stay brave enough to do this for her, because it's turning out to be even more disastrous than he thought it might be, I guess.
Yeah, this is really making Sage Tulok reflect on himself and the powers within him too. Seeing this kind of path that he's going down, leading to darker and darker magic, and being worried about it, and then seeing reanimated corpses, which is way out of his wheelhouse. And then losing someone that he hadn't known for long. But I think that their shared experiences within combat kind of makes them forge a pretty tight and quick bond. And he put a lot of trust into Samal and thought that he was going to keep him safe. And he knew he was strong, and he knew that he took a lot of damage being the frontline fighter.
I mean, just last night, he vocalized that he was trusting you and finding you as companions. I joked about it, how only in a fantasy setting James would do that,
Yeah.
And then you lost him almost immediately afterward.
Yep. Yeah. So he just turns to Physic. Physic, have you ever lost a friend like this, or someone you knew? Where is your goblin tribe? I'm sorry, I've never asked you any questions before, but did you lose your friends and family as well?
Physic's gonna kind of choke on his words as he says this, because he doesn't talk about it a lot. But basically, he'll look up, and Tulok's kind of the only person steadily in his life at this point. So we'll just kind of say,
I had a family once, but I don't know where they are anymore. They were here once, and now they're gone. They've been gone since I was little. I care about this place. I care about this town, and I feel great evil that's coming here. I've seen things. I've seen visions of destruction and visions of the abyss. And I can't let it come here. This town is my home, and if Ren thinks it's in danger, I'm here to protect it.
Do you think the evil is coming from the fog fen? Is that the evil you see, or is it something else?
I don't know if I can trust what I see. What I see is chaos. I see wolves wreathed in purple flame. I see demons with jet black eyes, but that might be in my head. It might not be what's here. I trust Ren, and I'll follow her vision because it seems more clear than mine.
Tulok is a little taken back by this because he knows that his magic is purple. And so when he hears that Physic is seeing demons with purple flames and all this, again, it makes him question his own powers and where that comes from. So he continues staring blankly at Physic, and also the jet black eyes, and he has one pupilless eye, and it's all just really hitting him right now. Not only how deadly this life can be once you're outside of the city and dealing with these kind of dark forces, but just that his own power could be something like this and something evil. So he turns to Physic again and says, I too see and hear things that I can't trust. There's something that speaks inside of me. To me, I think. And I have no idea what it is, Physic. I don't know where it comes from, and I can't make out the words. But there's something inside of me, and it seems powerful, but maybe I'm crazy. Maybe it's just in my head, I don't know. But the pain in my mind that comes with it, it's almost overwhelming. Could this be the same power? Could this be coming from the town? I don't know, because I wasn't even here. I was in Absalom when this all began. It's so strange, Physic. I don't know what to do. I feel like investigating the fog fen was helping. I thought I'd find some answers, but all that we found is death.
Maybe the power is scary, and, maybe we are crazy, but, all that counts is that we're one of the good guys.
And I think Tulok his solemn face kind of breaks a little bit with a half smile. Yes, I suppose we can say that we are one of the good guys, but it's hard being the good guy sometimes, I suppose, especially when faced with such evil. Samal was a good guy too, but look where it's gotten him. I can't believe he's gone.
No, me neither.
And then with that, he kind of leans back, closes his eyes, rubbing his temples.
And I think Physic would kind of mimic him in a bit of a way and try to get as comfortable as possible, despite still being wired right up from being scared.
All right. Well, you spend, I imagine, the majority of the day dealing with, reflecting on, and chatting about what just happened. And eventually night falls. And Rin requested you to join her again. We'll call it about 8:45 right now. Do you return to her?
Oh, yeah. Eagerly.
Yeah, I think Tulok wants answers, and he doesn't know what else to do right now. I think that he's just kind of a little shell-shocked.
Make your way back to Rin's Wonders, and as you approach close along that cobblestone road again, you see someone standing just outside of Rin's Wonders, a tall human man who is conversing with her in the doorway. And just as you approach, they seem to finish their conversation. He turns around, and you immediately recognize him as Kilino Lathanar, the owner of the Otari market. And he's a bit surprised to see you there, didn't notice you coming. But he kind of looks at Physic with a bit of a scowl on his face, but he's always got one on. And then he turns to Sage Tulok, and the scowl turns a little bit more sour. And he just simply walks past you both. And Rin gives a sigh, brow seemingly stuck in a furrowed position at this point, spots you and says, "Come in, come in." Sitting down at a table, pretty much immediately, she holds a piece of paper in her hand and sort of kind of scrapes her thumb over it inattentively, and is sort of staring at it, almost through this piece of paper, waiting for you to settle yourselves in however you wish to.
Yep, Tulok just comes in, and I think, he's been reflecting during the day. He's a little less shooketh at this point. Still grim look on his face, but he's kind of a little calmed down a little bit.
Physic's gonna come in. He's still nervous as all get out. Mm-hmm. So he's just gonna come in behind Tulak and, grab a seat, not make much noise.
She is thumbing this piece of paper and eventually looks up at the both of you and just sort of places it on the middle of the table. "I sent word to Kilino right away. He has seen fit that I pass on the deed to his belongings. To his next of kin, or perhaps his Izori. Kilino has offered to hold on to them for now in safety. Most generous considering his usual attitude." She swallows hard. "I do not know what it is you intend to do, but I am here for your questions and for your venting, if you need to. You look repaired, at least. It is good. We'll have some tea, and we can chat. We can sit in silence if you wish. And if you need me to, I will read the stars."
We wish to return to the Fogfen, to the keep. We wish to continue the mission.
She dons a look of, incredulity. Are you serious? It is not, Tulak, it is not required. I do not ask you to do this anymore. This is too dangerous.
I understand, Rin, but if we don't go back, Samal's death will have been in vain. And who knows what evil could be growing there. If we don't go back, perhaps we could all die. There was one incursion that we have stopped from the Mitflits, but who knows what else is in that keep, in that tower? And what ends are they planning? We must go back. And we also must bring back Samal's body. We can't leave him in there forever, just rotting away to a skeleton. Or perhaps worse, perhaps he too will rise. We can't let that happen, Rin.
That is a terrifying thought indeed. Vizik, do you feel the same?
You asked us to do this thing, Rin, and we're going to see it through, but we'll need more guidance. We'll need more help.
He's right, Rin. We can't face this alone. Even with Samal, he died. He was the strongest of us. We stand no chance without him. We are concerned about our ability to complete this mission, though we desperately want to, if it's just the two of us.
She nods her head and says, I learned a lesson from Samal just last night. A lesson I did not know would be learned far too late in our relationship. Let us establish something right now. If you go, it is of your own volition, not at my request. But I will be your ally and your guide as best I can. We will be a team. We will be in this together. This is now much bigger than a request for investigation. It is a mission for the greater safety of Otari, perhaps Absalom, and even the Isle of Kortos. This is what I posit to you. Do you accept?
We do.
We do.
At that moment, a knock comes from the outside, everyone turning their heads towards the entrance. Tamily Tandervale steps in. Her peg leg adorned with this beautiful blue and white stripe affair. She's a bit of a short, ginger human woman that you all know very well from the Otari fishery. And she's holding a letter in her hand and immediately picks up on the extremely dour and heavy atmosphere. She says, Ren, I received a letter. Or rather, Arthur did, and he brought it to me, and we thought that perhaps you'd like to see it. Is everything okay in here? Rin bows her head a bit and says, I'm afraid not, Tamily. We have lost a member of our community. Please sit, and we will regale you with the story. And Tamily takes on a very grave look, but obeys and sits down. She takes the time to pour everyone a fresh tea. Just before Rin elaborates, she opens the letter from Tamily that Tamily was holding, and her eyebrows rise. Well, tomorrow morning, you will all meet someone very special. He has been away for a while. Do you all know Raphael? Heavy rain falls through the dark night air, the deluge battering the wooden deck of a schooner, the Pashman Lancier. The ship bobs aggressively as the rough ocean pushes it one way, then the other. The crew is furiously scrambling around the deck, securing cargo and rigging. One woman in particular is bent nearly in half as she throws all her weight back to keep the halyard tight and the mainsail up, while they ready the sail for lowering. The large rim of her dark hat soaked in rain, it flops up and down, bobbing along in near syncopation with the rocking of the ship. Her long maroon coat flaring out behind her as she strains to keep a hold of the rope. The gilded guard of her rapier glints, with occasional glimpses of moonlight as she heaves. She leans back further and braces herself with one leg up against the mast, clenching her teeth and closing her eyes as she leans her head back, holding on with all her strength. The rain halts its barrage for a split second, and time seems to slow for her if not stop altogether. She relaxes just a fraction and opens her deep brown eyes to the night sky. The clouds have parted, and in their wake are two pulsing white stars. They swirl and dance around each other before slowly drifting apart. Then the one to the west glows a little brighter. The woman allows herself a small but pained smile before the star winks out. Breathing in deeply, filling her lungs with air, she tenses her body for a scream, and the rain returns to its onslaught. "Captain, we've got it!" A voice calls from the bow of the ship. A small retinue of sailors bounding toward her, she slowly releases the rope, and the mainsail folds up. When the task is done, the anchor is dropped, she makes her way back to the captain's cabin, tucked under the helm, and lights a tiny lantern before placing it on her desk. The light spills out over maps and charts and the like, before reflecting through a glass that is slowly filled with a brown liquid from an unmarked bottle. The woman returns the bottle to its stash and picks up the glass just as the cabin door opens. In steps a blue-skinned and lean hobgoblin with a short sword on its side and a red scarf tied around its head. "You asked for me, Captain?" he asks in a rough voice, the wet of his fine coat already creating a pool on the floor. The woman brushes her dark hair back. She turns to the hobgoblin.
As soon as the storm clears, we're heading back to Absalom. Tell the crew that we'll be taking a little breather once we get there. I've some business to attend to.
"But, Captain..."
That'll be all, Chronic.
she says, cutting off his question and turning away from him. The hobgoblin gives her a short but respectful bow. "By your order, Captain." And he turns and exits the cabin, shutting the door behind him against the rain. The captain raises the glass and stares into the brown liquid. She takes a deep breath in, and the sound of a drip into her drink comes next. She watches it ripple for a second before raising the other hand to her face. She wipes away beads of rain and tears, leaving her cheeks wet. How long had she been crying? Stemming the Tide is an actual play podcast of the Adventure Path Abomination Vaults and is produced by the Uncharted North Network. Stemming the Tide uses trademarks and/or copyrights owned by Paizo Inc., used under Paizo's community use policy. We are expressly prohibited from charging you to use or access this content. Stemming the Tide is not published, endorsed, or specifically approved by Paizo. For more information about Paizo Inc. and Paizo products, visit paizo.com. Music is composed by Will Savino and artwork by Greyhood. Stemming the Tide is recorded remotely using Foundry Virtual Tabletop. If you wish to connect with us or support this project and projects to come, we can be found at unchartednorth.ca, patreon.com/unchartednorth, and on all major social media platforms. Links to all credits can be found in the episode description and our website. Thanks for tuning in.